My name is Tiffany. Thank you for joining me. Recommendation for your meditation, especially because we're probably in the cold weather zone together. It's nice to have a space heater, and your space does not have to be anything fancy at all. But I do personally like to get on the floor. So I'll show you my space. And today, because it's really cold in my area, I'm bringing an extra blanket with me. So for me, I just take a cushion right off the couch and I put a very soft blanket on top. You'll notice I keep my socks and sweatshirt on. And then today I'm just gonna take this little extra blanket and wrap it around my shoulders. But we are gonna move a bit. So if you have that little extra blanket, just wrap it down somewhere around by your side. My friends, if you're staying in your desk chair or a chair of sorts, just make sure you move your backside to the very back edge of it so you can use the support of the back along your body. So it'll help us sit up really tall. And if you do sit in the middle of the floor with me, but you start to get pain or cramps or tiredness in your back, scoot yourself up against a wall and use that for support. All right, welcome to our meditation. Let's move just a little bit. We're gonna take a big stretch to the sky, just about a minute or two of movement. Open your palms and then give them a close, little fist. Open and close. One more like that. Soften your shoulders as we do this. Open and then circle around really slowly in any direction. Circling the other way. Can you push your thumb far from your other fingers? Open your fingers wide. Stretch and flex your wrists. So now you're pulling your fingernails towards your skull, pushing your wide fingers to the sky. Still relaxing in our shoulders, keeping our necks really happy here. Turn your palms towards the floor, still widen your fingers, and push the back of your wrists to the sky. Letting our hands fall. Left hand will reach to your arm of chair or down to floor. Stretch your right arm all the way up, and we're going to move a little through our neck as we lean to the left side, looking down towards your left hand, and gently up with a soft jaw towards your right hand. One more time, down and up. Let your right arm fall. Take a big breath in, and then use your exhale to rise. Clasping your forearms behind your low back. If there's a chair there, just try to hold on to something. I'd love for you to just try to broaden your chest before we finish our movement. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, soften your arms, right fingers down somewhere, left arm rises, a little bend to your right side. This movement in the beginning of class will help us feel less jittery so we can sit for our meditation. Eyes down. Next breath, eyes up. Eyes down. And up. Eyes somewhere neutral, a little forward, drop the left fingers. And as you exhale next time, boost yourself back to seated. Now is a great time if you have some extra clothing or that little blanket nearby to keep yourself nice and warm. In my opinion, warmth is the most important factor for staying comfy. Now, that being said, if you get uncomfortable during class, please adjust. Don't feel like you have to force yourself through discomfort. Move around, come back to me when you can. As we work together in our practices, I like to look down towards the floor, towards something really neutral and unmoving, very uninteresting, so it doesn't catch your attention. We're tucking our chins towards our chests and sitting tall through the back body. Softening eyes down to that spot. And if possible, just move yourself away from your workspace, silence your phone so you're not distracted. If you're feeling really safe in your environment, please consider dropping your eyes totally closed. Or another favorite of mine is to close your eyes to little slits. You'll be looking through your eyelashes and things look pretty blurry and unfocused. A great way to disconnect from the external world. Take a big breath in through your nose. And open your mouth. Don't feel funny making a really big noise. Let a big sigh out, like, Try that twice more. Big breath in, thinking of releasing your old stagnant air and energy. One more, just like that. Big sigh, exhale. Softly sealing your lips together and attempting to breathe through our practice in and out through your nose. Your nose is stuffy. There's nothing that we force in class. So you can definitely breathe in and out through your mouth if that feels better for you. We are working on a seasonal meditation today, our winter meditation. And every season that we encounter brings unique energies and opportunities. When we tune into these energies and opportunities, we can deepen our sense of peace, our sense of grace and ease, and ultimately our well-being. Now, some of you may have just celebrated the holidays, and in that case, winter to you may be a beautiful time of togetherness and tradition. Alternately, it might be a time of sadness or loneliness, sometimes tension depending on your family circumstances. And another thing that happens during the holidays is we're so busy, and then all of a sudden the hubbub really dies down. So it becomes a time of difficulty and loneliness when that sense of purpose is no longer with us. No matter what your experience with the holiday season is, winter as a whole has our shorter days, and the weather's quite moody and cranky sometimes. So things can generally be a lot less bright, literally and figuratively, less bright than usual when we're in our winter season. So our practice today, our meditation, is about finding peace in our difficult or our trying times in this season. Let's take a big breath in through our noses, any length that feels good for your body, really unforced, just gently watching our breath. And a long, soft exhalation. Whether or not we're comfortable with the energies that winter brings, it is important to take care of our mental well-being. Some people like to think of it as their spiritual well-being. These darker days take a big toll on our well-being, which is why kudos to you. Exploring our mindfulness in winter can be a great support to us during this season. Now, we're all going to have different experiences day to day, but there are a handful of qualities that really seem to underpin this cooler, darker season. And some of the energies that we might tune into, or the gifts that we might discover during winter, include time to let go, time for renewing, like we charge our cell phones and our computers all the time. We forget to take that time to recharge ourselves. Winter's great for that. Can be time for reflection or introspection. And some of us may notice slower, more mindful movements, less activity altogether, and increased stillness during this winter time. We may be able to embrace the darkness. Some of us really love that. And if you're not a huge fan of the darkness, we can embrace, since the winter solstice has already passed on the 21st of December, we can now embrace the increasing light, the length of light with each passing day. And then something that we practice a lot in yoga classes, and we can explore here, is the duality of our nature. So the winter season offers us the opportunity to embrace darkness and light. And if you think about things like the flowers and the plants, we're exploring death and then rebirth in the spring. So let's try to be open-minded. I love to pursue our practices with a childlike sense of curiosity. See if we can make time and space during this season to embrace the duality of our own individual experiences. Embrace the opportunity to quiet down, to turn inwards. And then also to bathe in the extra light that begins to grow a little brighter each day. Take a breath in through your nose. Easy exhale. Winter offers us this really unique opportunity to embrace the deeper parts of our being. If we're really willing to surrender ourselves to the very natural process in winter of hibernation, where we're more still, we're listening, we're feeling, then we can discover aspects of ourselves that we can't possibly know while we're hurrying around, whether it be during the holidays or just in our day-to-day life. Some of us, me included, can really struggle with this decreased light. You may feel like the second it gets dark, you just want to go to bed. And we fight against that, right? We think, oh, it's too early. But if you embrace winter, there's no reason to fight that urge. Your body is really correlating with nature and intuitively knows that you need to slow down a bit this season. There's a beautiful passage from an author. Her name is Victoria Erickson. Her book is Rhythms and Roads. And I love this passage this time of year. I'd like to share it with you. So many feel lethargic, unmotivated, or worn out in this hemisphere. We are really, though, not made to rocket straight through winter ablaze with energy. Look at nature. The ground, the plants, the animals are deep at rest. This is the natural way of things. Spend some time with the long nights, the moon, the solitude, the bare earth, stillness. Be easier on yourself. Love that. Getting permission to just settle in, to hibernate like a big old bear. That book again is called Rhythms and Roads. Just saying it feels so good. And the author is Victoria Erickson. So this winter season is an invitation to ease up on our outer movement and to tune inwards mindfully to our inner experience. Take a breath in, doing just that right now. Just breathing and being. Let's take ourselves away from being human doers and human goers and come back into human beings, just be. This inward pull might come more naturally to those of us who feel naturally more introverted, or to those of us that regularly practice mindfulness and meditation. It's just a little easier to slip in this season. If you have a more difficult time embracing the gifts of this season, as we naturally all gravitate towards different energies, I don't want you to feel like you are unique or on your own or separated. We're all very different. You have to embrace whatever your energy is. But we try to guide ourselves to correlate more with nature and slow down. As we breathe, bring to mind the last time you were outside and you just felt a bit of chill, or maybe you're right here right now in meditation and you feel a bit of a chill in the air. Remember, revisit how that feels, the way your skin might prickle with cold. Maybe you can taste the iciness, or your nostrils feel like really cold when you breathe in. Maybe the back of your throat feels really cold if you take a big breath with an open mouth. Then switch your thoughts, your feelings, your experience to the soothing weight of your clothing, the texture of fabric against your arms and your neck, and the way it protects you and provides you this shelter from the cold. The world has not relinquished all of its warm and comfortable things. You can still experience the reassurance of that warmth. Perhaps you don't like to go outside in the cold, but you love having a fire in your house. You can see in your mind's eye a really cozy fire. Maybe you hear the logs crackle and pop. I actually was fortunate enough to find a station on our Comcast cable this past month that actually has a fire that you can see on the TV, and you can hear the crackling and popping. That was second best to having your own fire. So that's a really nice way to drop in and find comfort in the winter season. And perhaps for you, you find comfort and beauty in the snow, if we've just had some snow, sparkling in the sun, or maybe filling another great thing I love this time of the year is filling up a really warm mug of hot chocolate and just kind of cradling that in both hands on a chilly night. So what I'm trying to help you experience and recreate is that the winter is cold, the winter is dark, but you are not without joy. You are not without peace. We just have to find these little simple things that we can really treasure during this time of year. Take a breath in and imagine for a moment the hush of the world after a really fresh, beautiful snowfall. Exhale fully. Maybe see something settling into that soft snowfall. The snow is just gently blanketing everything. We're muffling the loudness of life. Snow definitely has the ability to freeze and become a little slick, but it also has this beautiful potential to really soothe and inspire. Could you, as you imagine the snow, start to accept it? Doesn't mean that you have to love it and want to be in it. It just means acknowledging its presence in the world, allowing it to exist, and even perhaps finding some beauty in it every now and then, just so we're not resisting this winter season. So as you imagine that chill in the air, maybe the beauty of the snow, if you're feeling really open-minded, bring to mind back the coziness of perhaps it's like a sweater that you love or a really cozy jacket with some faux fur around the neck or the hood. And perhaps the winter storm is mild, just requiring like a little light layer just to get the day's bitterness or chilliness away. Imagine the kind of warmth, the fabric. Maybe it's this beautiful cashmere that you're sinking into and it just feels so soft you never want to leave. Maybe you notice the weight of the fabric on your shoulders, the way it hangs off your frame, or it might cling tightly to you like a little burrito keeping you warm. Conjuring up these really cozy images is a way to have a gentle and reassuring presence during difficult times. There's some calm and there's some safety in our world when we envision something like this. Now, however your imagery feels or whatever your imagery is, it's more than just a functional barrier against the cold. This is a reminder that we are fortunate enough to have access to good, soothing things, even in storms and times of turmoil. Maybe your sense of comfort does not come from an article of clothing. Perhaps it's spending a warm night inside, blessed to have these roofs over our heads in the comfort of our loved ones. Maybe the laughter of that loved one really heals your soul. Maybe you're cozying up with a favorite book or a beloved movie. Snuggling up with your favorite winter blanket or your very warm, cozy pet. So there are many lovely things that your life can bring during storms, during winter season. Storms, cold weather, darkness does not change the good that's in our life. It just takes a little extra time to seek it out this time of year. All of these good things have been present in our lives and will be present again. No matter the storm that comes through during winter, we know that peace is always available to us. Try to breathe in, really solidify that in your body, in your being, in your mind, and in your soul. Peace begins with me. And as we have brought these bright, soothing moments and memories to mind, imagine each one as a strand of yarn or a thread in that article of clothing or that blanket that you are wearing. These all come together to bring you safety, to bring you warmth, to bring you protection from the gusts of the cold wind. And we can soak in the peace of that moment, knowing that no storm can rid us of the peace that exists inside you. We just have to slow down and allow it to catch up with us. And sometimes that sense of comfort and peace is much more easily within reach, more strong, more present. Other times it's softer and it's more of a memory. But it's always something that we can summon up, just like we can feel the warmth from our sweater a few seconds after we put it on. Remember the memories and the feelings that you have woven into these pieces of yarn or these fabric pieces, knowing that they're always available to you. I love that guided imagery to help us navigate the cold. Even if you only have a minute or two in the morning or at the end of a day, envisioning what brings you comfort during the darker, colder winter season, bringing it back to mind and then conjuring up the emotions, the physical sensations that go along with it. And as we begin to finish our formal seasonal winter meditation together today, we'll really slowly tune back in to the outside world that we let go of, whether it be movement or sounds in the space around you, the feeling of your clothing against your skin, something you may be able to smell or still taste. Perhaps it's cold, like the winter world that you've brought to life with your meditation. Or hopefully it doesn't feel like winter at all if you have your little space heater and you're starting to feel the warmth of that, the coziness of your socks. No matter what you're experiencing, start to let your senses ground back into the present, the way your surroundings feel, smell, and sound. Take a big breath in through your nose again. And it might feel nice to start to flutter our eyelashes. We don't want to brighten them too quickly. We want to ease back into our day. So maybe just flutter your eyelashes, start to move your fingers and hands, or shrug or wiggle your shoulders, move your feet if they're available, just solidifying your presence and readying yourself to ease back into the demands of your day. Well, we'll finish this meditation as we begin with this beautiful focus on your breath. Feeling the way your lungs expand, your body moves in reaction to that inhalation. How that deep breath may wake up your mind a little and help you ease tightness in your chest. We exhale and soften back down. Let a gravity take over as we settle into the comfort of our space once again. You are breathing, you are alive, and you have and will continue to find moments of peace in any of your storms. Thank you for allowing this meditation to be a part of your experience. And as we continue to navigate winter, I hope it's just a little less challenging for you now. Hands cover heart or come to heart center if you'd like to join me in a little bow to the dedication to your well-being. Well done carving time out of your day to practice. I hope you enjoyed, and namaste.